Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
And welcome back, everybody. Here we are, just a few hours literally from the start of the holidays, specifically Thanksgiving. And we're going to talk a little bit deeper about that today. Gratitude. What's the big deal? Why do people say that you should be practicing gratitude? Why? How does this thing work? Like, how does this move your life forward? Many say it is a game changer. Many say that when you practice gratitude, you're telling the universe, yeah, give me more of that same kind of stuff that I'm grateful for. We've got Wellness with Danielle M. White. She is with us today. She's an amazing energy practitioner, does so much shamanic and Reiki sessions. I've had one of those and definitely feel the effects of it. Actually was talking to a friend last night about my session, not kidding. And she's back with us. Now, what are you doing today, Danielle?
I am grateful to be here with you all. And I want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving and just feeling such gratitude in my heart right now. I have my family in from Indiana visiting for Thanksgiving, and it's just a huge blessing.
Cool. How do you practice gratitude? Of course, it's like, people who are Christian, some don't go to church, but on Christmas they do that one, time of the year. And Thanksgiving, we give thanks. Do you practice gratitude on a regular basis?
Absolutely. I practice it daily.
Hmm. What do you do?
How do I practice it?
Yeah.
By being grateful in the moment and feeling that moment, by centering and being present in the moment. And I always say thank you. I always thank God. The joy is here, the beauty. You see a beautiful day, even if it's cloudy or snowing, there's still beauty in that. And any chance that you get to share an experience with someone and be present, if you think about it, those are some of the most priceless moments that I have. The most beautiful memories.
Why do we get caught up in the negativity instead of looking at the grateful, positive side of life and or situation? Why don't we go the other way where we just look at the negative or come from a place of lack?
It's so easy for us to get focused on those areas in our lives, and what we focus on grows. So if you're having lack or sadness, grief, anything of those areas, when you really focus in on it, that's what you're going to see more in your life.
Would you say that comes down to the true principles of manifestation?
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's funny. I had a meeting last night with the men's group. I told you that I joined like 6 months ago, and we were talking about gratitude. That's what came up. And there was an exercise where you identify certain emotions and things on a wheel. And they have categories like love and connection, social, fitness, things like that. And everyone wanted to improve their financial situation. And I get that. Why wouldn't you not? you know? But at the same time, I thought about that. And while certainly I would love to, as we all would, I thought a little bit deeper and then thought, I got what I need right now. But over here, bring that on. I'll take that. And with gratitude. But I have this feeling inside that it's all, don't worry about it. Do the right thing. It all comes your way. It'll all work itself out. And I think a lot of us get caught up in the difference between the need and the wants. When you think about it, do you have what you need? You have what you need right now? Sure. Lottery, win. Great. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Can't wait. But when you think about it, we have what we need. Many of us, most of us really do, right?
Yeah, and I would recommend anybody who's really struggling Even if you can't travel to a third world country, look it up online. We
Mm,
have so much to be grateful for.
yeah.
And there's so many people out there willing to help, but we've got to come out and find that help and ask for that help for ourselves.
Yeah. You're 100% right. And you just brought back memories. I love the Caribbean. So I've been there and I was part of a few different missions as well. And I'll never forget going to a village and yeah, just brought some stuff. And as a matter of fact, I was traveling with a coworker whose husband was with us and he wrote children's books. Just part of what he does, kind of on the side. And we went to this village. He had some of the books and it was like Christmas morning times 1 million. And even just giving a pencil to those children changed their day, changed their week and probably month and year, how excited and joyful they were for just something like that. So that put it into perspective for me. And I felt I just wanted to do more. What else can I do? I felt, joy in just doing some little things to make a difference in their lives. And I know, you can donate. And as long as you know it's vetted and it's legit, this I was
Mhm.
experiencing it firsthand. Um, and like you said, you could look outside and see a tree and think, "Wow, that's amazing! Look at the beauty in that tree," and feel joy. Just a little piece of joy, right?
Yes, we just get stuck in the things that weigh on us, especially the mental processes. All the junk that's residing there keeps you held back. It doesn't let you move forward until you process through stuff. So, a good example I like to use is childhood memories. Things come up. But what people don't realize, especially around the holidays right now, a lot of people don't like to go to holidays or prepare themselves for them because so and so's like this, so and so always brings this up, multiple stories.
Mm,
But what people don't realize is they kind of pigeonhole themselves into those thought processes. So then it feeds into that. And if you leave, say you left home and you didn't return for several years, if you have unprocessed thoughts, grief, issues, when you step back into that environment,
mm,
you automatically resort on some level back to that age you left.
mm. Yeah, and I'm sure it's because of a protection.
Yes.
And we like to be comfortable. We like to feel familiar in a situation. There's times where I'll be out somewhere or even at the gym and just, I'm not thinking deep. I'm just staring in different directions and I'll see people and right away my mind connects their face with somebody who looks like them.
Mm-hmm.
It's the
And in
weirdest.
Yes, and in those moments, your subconscious is trying to tell you there's something processed. Something I like to say to my clients and think about is if somebody's popping up and you're having an emotional reaction or response to it, there's work to be done there because something's still floating there. That other person on their end has nothing to do in your mind or in your body. There's still things floating, is what
Hmm.
I like to call it.
Yeah. And you help people by clearing that out. Do I have that right? That
Mhm.
energy that's going
Yes,
on there, even in your subconscious?
yes. And the process, I like to say it's unpaid, it's free rent. It's taking up your mental capacity, it's taking up your energy in life. So
Mm.
you want to try to heal or process through things because that's what brings back your energy, your fire for your life instead of giving it to others.
Well, I guess an example of that would be the session I had with you, the shamanic session, where among things when we talked, cutting cords. and you
Hmm.
energetically cut cords for me. Even things that I didn't even realize. One situation came up, and you say you probably want to cut the cord, even though it's a close relative. It doesn't mean you're cutting them off, right?
Correct.
Maybe can you
Correct.
explain it just so everybody
Yes.
knows?
The easiest way to explain it simply is that one, you're doing the work. You're the one doing the work on the table. We are just assisting.
Yep.
Then the second thing is the energy is being cut in order to be able to be transmuted, to be changed, so that negative energies that are sitting there harbored between your energy and their energy can be transmuted. So it can be changed. So it gives you both the opportunity then to go to a higher level, a higher frequency of a relationship. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. And I want to go even deeper. I've often heard, and please comment and give feedback on this, that when you cut a cord, you're only cutting the negative. All the positive stuff stays. It's only the negative.
What you're doing is you're expanding to remove the negative. So if you think of a channel, think of a water hose. That's the best one I could give. If it's empty, it's flat or flatter.
Hmm.
But when you fill it, that water expands that channel.
Sure.
So that's what we're initially doing is severing it to expand that energy so God's divine energy can flow in there and help you to push out what's
Ah,
clogging it up.
gotcha. Okay.
And
So
then,
it's it's not that you're removing something with some voodoo magical spells. It's
no,
we're changing the energy within so that we can help ourselves with help from somebody like you,
correct,
push it through and push through the positive energy and move your life forward.
correct. Yes, nobody can really do any healing for you. That's why it takes active participation during our sessions because you're actually doing the work on the table.
Well, let's be honest. I wasn't really doing much. I was just relaxing. However, and it was virtual. However, I was thinking, I was energetically putting myself there with in those situations that I wanted to change. Yeah, wasn't that I nodded out. Oh, Steve, wake up. Oh, what did I miss? Um, I was participating that way, but I want everybody to know it wasn't a lot of work. It wasn't like I was, balled up in the corner crying or anything like that.
Oh, no, no.
No, no, really easy and impactful because you brought up things that I didn't even realize during that session, and then we
Yeah,
worked
and
on them.
it's different than therapy because you're not diving in and discussing and drawing these stories out
Yes, yes.
more than need be.
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, I had I had asked you in a text, how deep will we be going in terms of situations?
Hmm.
What do you need to know? Do we have to talk about this? Do we have to talk about that? And we really didn't go into much detail, just a little bit, scraping the surface, and then you took it
Hmm.
from there. Hmm.
Yes. And if you don't mind, I would like to share a little Nikola Tesla.
Oh, go right ahead. Completely, completely on my radar. And I don't know if I ever shared this with you. His laboratory is and was it's been turned into a museum. It is about 20 minutes from where I'm sitting right here.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I
And
have to go. I
and
have to
there
go.
was sadly there was a fire. I want to say 6 or so months ago, and they're working to rebuild it and also collecting funds. But a lot of the experiments are still there. And talk about the king of manifestation. Dude
Yeah.
had figured it out. And there's a book, shame on me, about him. and about his 369 principle of manifestation. And that I want you to share that. And I've read like maybe 12 pages of it, and I got it a year ago. And that's I'm setting the intention to dig into that book. But please, yeah, please
You'll have
explain.
to share the book with me
For
because I'm
sure.
not familiar.
Oh, I think it's called the 369 principle.
Okay, okay. So we're going to discuss 369 principle, and I'm going to add on a 12.
Okay.
Okay, so those of you who can see on the video, the
If you
live
could go
feed,
a tiny bit closer,
tiny
it's
bit
yeah, it is clear. And pull up. Yeah, there we go.
right there.
Okay.
Okay, so the 3 is energy. So the energy you're feeling and the energy you're putting out
Wow.
creates your vibration, which affects your attraction because your vibration is what's actually attracting or repelling people,
Yep. Yep.
which creates your frequency,
Yep. Which is vibration.
which is vibration. And there's multiple levels. So if you think about a radio station, you think about the different frequencies.
Sure.
So if you've got junk in the trunk, in the mind, or anywhere else, creating these blockages, your frequency is going to be off. So if you're scanning through radio stations, you're going to pick up static versus the actual music or the words.
And
That makes
just on a tech geek level, when a radio station transmits, let's say it's transmitting on 105.1, it's vibrating to send that signal out. That's how it works. And the frequency is 105.1 megahertz. What's hertz? That's a measurement of frequency. And it's vibrating, 105.1 million times in a second to send the signal out.
you so much.
I work in radio. I'm a geek.
I know. Thank you. So what I like to say is when the 369, when you've completed that triangle, which I also like to think of the Holy Trinity,
Hmm.
then you create the channel.
What's the 12? I've never
Ether.
seen that triangle. Thank you for that. How's the 12 figure in?
Ether.
Explain.
So the energy level, the unseen, the ether levels. So if you, to make a visual for people, think about a teapot. And you're boiling that water, it creates the steam. But around steam, you can still see ether moving. Or the other example I would give is gas.
Hmm.
You can see the ether fumes moving.
Sure.
And for me, my ether is God.
Okay. All right. So the 12 is is the spiritual part of it.
Correct. And if you add 1 and 2 together, you come back to 3.
There's deep stuff going on here. Oh, and by the way, I'm not rolling religious here at all. But what else does the number 12 represent?
The 12 disciples.
Apostles, right? Yeah. And Nikola Tesla, responsible for hundreds of patents and experiments. We wouldn't be here, I believe, without him. It was electricity. He worked with Edison. There is, some popular rumor that Edison stole a lot of what he
Mhm.
did because he just wasn't a very social guy. He was to himself. Now, he would do his experiments. He would very heavily use those principles that you just said to come up with his experiments. Um,
Mhm.
and, sounds kind of weird. He was just a little different kind of dude. The pigeons outside of his place were his friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Did you know, ironically, Nikola Tesla would not walk in a building unless he walked around it 3 times?
I did hear that. Yeah,
I believe that he was doing his energy frequency vibration before he walked into the building, centering himself and his connection.
interesting.
Possible.
Hmm. Um, uh, look at it this way. Animals are so grounded, tuned into everything that's going on.
Yes.
Uh, their paws are on the ground, are always grounded. And they don't have to worry about uh, drama, uh, mortgage, car payments, etc. They're just absorbing the energy, processing it, deciding what to do with it. And I see my dog when he walks in from the outside to the inside. First thing he does is shake. And I believe he's shaking off the energy from the outside to the inside. What's that? What do you got there?
These are copper plugs for shoes.
Okay. Oh,
These,
oh, okay. I'm getting something here. Go ahead.
the soles of your shoes block your energy to Mother Earth. So it blocks your receiving and your giving of your negative energy, your grounding, your clearing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So these copper plugs you can purchase and put into your shoes, and it reactivates that like a grounding mat.
Oh, you mean
Earth Runners
you
is
mean
a
you mean
brand.
you mean
Yes.
this, which is connected right to the ground lug on the
Yes.
wall. Oh my gosh. And I mean you can sit on it. I don't a lot of times I put it on the floor and I take my shoes off. And while I'm sitting
Mhm.
here doing podcasts, I'm connected to ground. And that's exactly what it is. You go outside and hug a tree, it's connected to ground. The ground lug on your outlet, you're not going to get a shock because you're putting it in the not the slot, the other one. Um, that goes right to your ground.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I sleep with a grounding pillowcase, and they also make mattress covers.
Of which I have. And I struggle with that because, and it's not a big investment, right? The mat's like $20. The mattress cover is like $20.
Mhm.
Um, but I guess it should be you should be touching it with your body.
Mhm.
So it shouldn't be under a sheet. It should be the top of the sheet. I'm imagining, right? Um,
It can actually go through sheets.
okay, so then the grounding can go through your clothes,
Mhm.
just not your shoes because your shoes are rubber.
Correct.
Yeah. And, mom always used to say, if lightning strikes, you have your shoes on, at least you have some protection from the ground. You don't want to be grounded in that instance because lightning is trying to find a path to ground. You don't want it to be you. Wow.
Right.
I didn't know that you were into the whole Tesla thing.
Oh, I love Nikola Tesla.
Wow. Wow. Interesting person when you start studying.
Mhm.
Um, he even, and this isn't about grounding, but he would even roll his toes in his shoes for
Mhm.
hours just because he felt that did something that had a health benefit to him. Um, again, uh, he manifested all of this stuff using the 369. I'm going to figure that out. Yeah, but it comes back to one thing: vibration. Your energy and your vibration is everything. That sets the
Mhm.
tone for what's coming your way, what's getting pushed out of your way. It's, that 369. Can we operate in that realm? Is it
Yes.
it possible?
Yes.
How do you know when you are?
For me,
Sure.
I'll know that I'm centered and that I'm connected. I can hear spiritually, and the things that I'm attracting are coming right in almost the same day or 2 days that I'm asking for it.
Hmm. We're just about out of time, but I have to
Oh my
ask.
goodness.
I know. Look at the clock here. Um, do you find that when you ask for things, they show up right away?
hmm
Seriously?
Yeah, a lot of things do. And
Wow.
if not, I know it's either not the right time or it's for my protection.
Yeah.
Unanswered prayers are usually for protection.
Hmm. And it's in the universe's time and it's the universe's
Mhm.
rule. The universe knows better than we do. We think
Yes.
we know. We don't.
Hmm.
Sometimes we have an inkling, gut feeling, and and it's right. Um, More times than not, I believe anything you need to know, you already know it. It's there.
Hmm.
You gotta be able to hear it.
Right.
And many times in doing that, you're just quieting the noise around you.
Hmm.
Um, hmm. Every time we get together, I learn more and a different side of you. Seriously, it's like super cool. Like the whole Tesla thing. Whoa. And and before I could even say the 369 principle, you're already writing it down. Yeah, amazing man. I'm not even exaggerating. 20 minutes from the spot. And I haven't been there in a while. I have to go back. He lived in New York City, but then it's called Shoreham, New York on Long Island, kind of the center of Long Island. And that's where he did the Tesla coil and had all the other stuff going on there. Yeah. And even some say the motor. He invented the motor in your car, and that's why the Tesla car is called the Tesla. Super cool. This is just a little bit of what you do in helping people heal, move their life forward, harness energy, raise their vibration. Um, Danielle, what's the best way to connect with you?
HelloFutureHealing.com.
And if somebody's got any questions, I want to try and figure, any of this stuff out. Would you have a conversation, as like a free consult just to learn more?
Yes, yes, they can go onto the website and there is a link for a free consultation.
We didn't even get into anytime we've gotten together, intuitive life coaching. Now, there's
Mhm.
lots of life coaches out there, many wonderful ones, but the intuitive part, I'm assuming you use your intuition to help somebody along.
Yes, my intuition and my empathic abilities, because I can feel what other people feel. So I can sense the energies very clearly. And then the spiritual gifts of the messages coming in to help people, especially when stuff's buried and they don't even remember things from years ago or childhood or things like that.
Hmm, amazing. I would love to next time we get together go a little bit deeper into that if we could.
Absolutely.
Cool. Um, Fascinating talking with you. Learned so much, feel so much better. Even my experiences of cutting cord, I'm not even kidding. It was 12 hours, a little bit less than that last night, talking to somebody about it because I think he could benefit from it. So, hello, futurehealing.com. Did I get that right?
Yes.
Cool. Thank you so much for being here, Danielle, and enjoy Thanksgiving. All the best to you. I'm grateful for you, and looking forward next time we get together.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Have a wonderful, blessed day.
We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.